Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to vindicate the most American of values, and that is work. When John Smith landed at Jamestown, he said, "He who does not work, neither shall he eat." And we have drifted so far away of that, creating a social safety net that has been converted into a multi-generational hammock for far too many Americans.
And here we are again, arguing and defending history against idiots like Matt Gaetz, and most especially Matt Gaetz himself. This is absolutely stupid, ridiculous, and dangerous talk where we're talking about letting people starve in 2023 because someone said it in 1607.
As we reach America's credit card limit, I am proud to stand with my many House Republican colleagues who believe there should be no increase in this debt limit absent rigorous work requirements.
That's not the only thing wrong with Matt Gaetz' comment. He's lacking historical context, which is extremely important to understand John Smith's conversation with the colonists of Jamestown. First of all, let's be clear. Let's be extremely clear. Jamestown was not sent here from England to start a new country. It was sent here to start a new company, And what cost the Englishmen had to pay to come over here was to pay back the investors who invested in their company. You came over here to work to find gold and other precious metals, and also a pathway to the Pacific, so that the investors that paid about $2,100 per share, which is what it costs in today's dollars, to own a piece of Jamestown, the company, $2,100 in today's dollar is what it cost to own a piece of Jamestown. These were not poor people. These were wealthy and well-to-do people here to make more money. The reason John Smith said anything about owning or working in order to eat, owning your work, was because rich people had failed to lead the colony, to fortify the colony, because they didn't understand the natives and what would offend them. So John was freaking tired of well-to-do rich people like Matt Gaetz telling other people how to work and what to do without doing it themselves. Therefore, he said, in an effort to save the colony, the company, that you all must work if you are to eat, because they had a debt to pay back. Now, trying to compare this to American debt is absolutely disgusting, because the poor people in our time did not create American massive debt. Actually, I would say it is people like Matt Gaetz and his friends who get tax cut for doing nothing and supposedly starting businesses that never bring new jobs to feed people that don't even pay livable wages, that is more responsible than the poor people in this country. So Matt Gaetz trying to use Jamestown, a company, to explain why America, a country, shouldn't pay her debts or her obligation, and then blame it on a safety net that does not exist, does not create wealth, and to say that the safety net in this country has created generational wealth or generational laziness is absolutely disgusting. I'll tell you what has created. It's created a lack or an excuse for wealthy people to say that there's nothing owed to those who work and create, those who labor hour after hour and hour in this country, only to have rich people benefit more than them who own the labor.
If you could see President Clinton and Newt Gingrich coming together for work requirements in the 90s, there's no reason we cannot do that in divided government now, to cut spending where it is wasteful and to grow this economy where it is necessary.
Matt Gaetz would not tell you that Vladimir Lenin of Russia also said, "He who does not eat, or he who does not work shall not eat." That's right. He's espousing the same principles of a socialist communist leader. But he won't tell you that, because that requires him to understand and read history. We need to be honest with ourselves as Americans. We have more technology right now. We also have more people living than we ever had. Well, what does that mean, Mondale? It means we will need less workers every day going forward than we ever had, even though we have more people than we ever had. This is not the same as what was going on in Jamestown. Technology is replacing the need for human workers. Matt Gaetz has made himself comfortable standing in front of an empty room in Congress saying that people should die if they don't work. That is ridiculous. Technology is requiring less work from us, and we need to wrap our heads around that idea that either we are all comfortable like Matt Gaetz and against Jesus, because Jesus said, what you do for the least of these, you do for me. So his views are anti-Christ. I'm not even saying anti-Christian. It's anti-Christ. Anti-Christ. Those views that people need to be working, even though there's no work that can feed the people out of poverty, because we see what's going on when you don't pay people a livable wage, but you work the hell out of them. They are working poor, no better quality of life. So stop pretending that people are lazy and be honest that your rich friends, Matt Gaetz, your rich donors, don't pay people livable wages, and therefore people are dying from starvation. And you seem extremely comfortable. Oh, don't let me get off this video before I remind you that Newt Gingrich and Bill Clinton working together in the 90s didn't solve anything. They cut people off of welfare and poverty went up nearly 60%. It was absolutely disgusting to say that that reform did anything that made more children and women and poor Americans hungry. We better get serious, because people like Matt Gaetz are trying to starve off populations that are suffering because of businesses' refusal to pay people a livable wage and rich people refusal to pay their way. I'm Mondale Robinson, and I'm starving. Have a good evening, but not before you think about it.